I would like to see Joe Biden count backwards from 55. So get this. This is from the New York Times. After Governor Josh Green of Hawaii, a physician, asked Mr. Biden questions about the status of his health, Mr. Biden replied that his health was fine. It's just my brain.
Huh.
Oh, it's just his brain. Well, that's comforting. I was afraid that I thought he had a trick knee. That's what everybody's upset about. No, it's my brain. Hey, I'm fine. It's just my brain, all right? It doesn't work. Well, get out of here. Forget about it. It's my friggin' brain. That's it. That's in the New York Times. So they're done with. He's over. There's no way Biden can survive this. So what is going to happen is they're going to pick at the convention the delegates, which they technically choose the person anyway. The nominee are going to choose somebody. And I bet, I wouldn't doubt they go with Kamala Harris. Who knows? Because if they were willing to run this walking demented death rattle of a corpse all the way up until 5 seconds ago, I think they'll go, because their whole thing is they're not getting anybody to vote for Joe Biden. They're getting people to vote against the fear of Donald Trump. And they've built up this fear of Donald Trump. He's going to be a dictator. He's not going to leave office. He's going to imprison his president. He's going to do all this stuff. There it is. After Governor Josh Green of Hawaii, a physician, asked Mr. Biden questions about the status of his health, Mr. Biden replied, "Oh, my health is fine. Just my brain doesn't work anymore. It's like Jell-O." What's the question? Huh? He added, according to three people familiar with what took place, a remark that some of the room took as a joke, but at least one governor did not and was puzzled by. Yeah, that's not a joke. when it actually is your brain. It would be funny if people were worried about his knee, or if it was like FDR when he was faking he could walk. And FDR says, "No, my legs are fine. It's my brain that you should be worried about." That would be funny. When people are worried about your brain and you say it's my brain, that's the worst joke in the world. Now, maybe it's funny because the truth is funny. And there you go. Mr. Biden replied that his health was fine. It's just my brain. Just my brain. My brain. Ruh-roh. I think Mr. Biden is in trouble. Okay, over to Steph.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think he's gonna make it till November. He's gonna make it to November, and then what are they gonna do? It's not like anybody didn't see this coming, right? All right, and there is no way. Just so the room knows, there's no way that they're gonna be able to step over Kamala and have somebody else. But
because she wants to be the first woman president, I'll tell you that.
Boy, I want her to be.
I want her to be.
I want her to be. Now, I think her running mate would be Pete Buttigieg. That's who I think it's going to be. All right, so hold on. What do we got here? Great job on Rogan, Jimmy. Been seeing you spitfire all over Twitter and Reddit. Jimmy, that's Kate Cutwas. Thank you, Kate Cutwas. What was this one? Joe needs to stay in the race so he can cover up his family crimes. Just an idea. How possible would it be for Jill Biden to run? Keep Kamala as vice president. You still have a Biden-Kamala ticket. Look at you, Gonza. That's a possibility. I think Jill would answer all the questions. She would answer all of them. All right. Hey, Jimmy from Andres. Jimmy, you are ready for ayahuasca, but don't do it because you won't give a shit about politics after. Your channel will become about global healing, Andres. All right, thank you, Andres. Well, you know what, Jimmy? People were wondering about that was there any reason why you didn't talk about Gaza or Israel with Joe Rogan?
No, it just the way that there was many things after you can come to me. There were many things that I forgot to bring up. Like, I wanted to bring up that I gave a speech at the Security Council at the UN, and that they then used Pegasus to hack my computer and my phone. It just, you're having a real conversation. And I don't have notes. I didn't bring in notes. It's not how that show works. And I wanted to bring that up. And someone told me that Joe actually said something about Palestine, but it slipped past me. I must have been trying to think of something else, or there was a point when my phone was ringing and I was like, oh shit, I have to turn off my phone. Somebody said he said something about Palestine, and that I don't remember him saying it. And if he said it, it slipped right past me. I was distracted. But no, I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to do my Palestine joke. Of course I wanted to bring it up. I have some killer Palestine jokes, which you should come see me do in Las Vegas on July 28th. I have some killer Palestine jokes. When I say Palestine, it really is Israel. Jokes about Israel's carpet bombing of Palestine and their occupation. And so I would love to have talked about it. No problem. So, no, I was nervous. Oh, I was nervous. And I was talking to some other people that night. And they say that they're nervous when they go on too. I was like, really? I thought it was just me. I wasn't nervous the first 2 times, maybe 3. I wasn't really nervous. I was feeling, for some reason, this time I was nervous. And I think it was because I hadn't been on for 3 years. And I was like, oh, why doesn't Joe want to have me on? And so I was like, oh, didn't I do a good enough job last time? But now I got to really hit it out of the park. I put pressure on myself. But I find out that other people do that too. So it made me feel a lot better. Okay, over to Steph.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy, for answering that. And that was from our friend Brent Yoendo, longtime supporter and loves you. So thank you so much, because he thought that Joe was also like kind of gave a pass to a Mossad agent. Eric, latest mainstream media spin. Look at you, Eric. Biden is very religious and prone to speaking in tongues. Thank you, Eric. Biden sounds inebriated, Eric. Thank you. Hey, Mike the WAP 00. Unless rigged, no Democrat nominee wants to follow up Joe in 2024. Those serious about winning will wait till 2028. Stuck with Joe 24 should be this year's slogan. P. Walker. Back to Jim.
These are placed inside the jar, and the lid is then sealed. They are left undisturbed for 3 days. Then, when the jar is opened, the fleas will not jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behavior is now set for the rest of their lives. And when these fleas reproduce, their offspring will automatically follow their example. These are
round a rabbi hole, tunnels and all. There's Jews in the walls. Isn't it bliss? The rabbinical grace soiling the mattresses. Well, let me tell you. If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle 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 digga digga diddle diddle dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
At this time, more than any other time, you know, revolution is necessary. It is necessary. Not only based on what has happened with the MOVE organization, you know, the babies that have been murdered, you know, MOVE adults that have been murdered, bombs being dropped on us, but past that to what is happening with all black people, so-called minority people, you know, money poor people. You know, this government, as has been said earlier, has waged war on us. But you know, something about us, particularly here in America, we don't really understand that. You know, we don't really know what war is. You know, for black people, for poor people, that people see as good, that they wasn't forced to do, that they didn't do to try to keep black people appeased, you know, and calm down so that black people wouldn't riot. A prison situation is a crystallized example of that. You can make phone calls in prison. They have movies in prison, but they don't have those things because they just want to be nice to prisoners. They have those things because they know damn well if they don't have, you know, people being able to contact their family, if they don't have, you know, facilities for people to sit there and watch movies, people are going to be frustrated, upset, and they're going to direct that frustration at them prison administrators, and they're going to have riots on their hands. You know, they're going to have people in them prisons turning them prisons out. That's why they have movies. That's why they have access to phones the way they do. And a stop to it when we don't like it, or encouraging it when it's something that's in our interest. You know, we have to call the shots. The people have to take the reins of this system and start dictating, you know, what we need, what needs to be done. And, you know, taking the initiative to do it ourselves. We can't rely on this system. I mean, you know, don't people see what's happening? Every single confrontation that MOVE people have been involved in, every single issue, you know, oppression, economic issues, every single issue facing our people, you know, is something that can be dealt with very, very simply. All people got to do is make their wishes known. All people have to do is stand up and say, listen, we're not accepting that. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to revolution. Revolution ain't nothing to be afraid of. It ain't nothing to shy away from. Revolution, contrary to what officials, you know, this system and those backing the officials running this system, you know, want people to believe that revolution means violence, you know, means blood in the street. I'm saying it can get to that point, but it don't have to be violent. You know, when people come together and take a strong stand on an issue, this government don't have no choice but to listen. Where you think they get their authority from? They don't have no power, but they do have authority to do certain things. Where you think they get it from? They get it from us, from the people. You know, they get it from us accepting the things that they do to be done to stop it, then you have some people who want to then turn around and say, yeah, well, you know, it's the best we have, and want to make excuses. The time for excuses is over. It's over. You know, every man, woman, and child has to be involved in this revolution. Not only has to be, but is, whether you want to be or not. I mean, our babies gave their lives for this revolution on May 13th. You know, men, women, and children were murdered. And not just babies, you know. What about all of the young men, women, you know, children 8, 9 years old shot down on the street by cops, you know, by drug pushers? I mean, you know, where do you think that mentality comes from? It comes from this system, from the mentality of this system of getting over, you know, making a quick buck, you know. I'm saying that's where that needs to be done to stop it. Then, you know, what I want people to really, really understand is that it's past time. It is past time for poor people, black people, you know, to realize that this system has failed you. It has failed you. You can't get nothing from it. And what people got to do is withdraw our support from it and start doing for ourselves. That's what we got to do. You know, how long are people going to sit back and beg, you know, this government to do what's right when for hundreds of years all you've gotten is a slap in the face? All you've gotten is this government kicking your ass. That's all. That's all black people have ever gotten from this government.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit